Hi, my little babies. Hi, my little babies. No, I have not been jacking off Daddy Smurf. Let's at least get through our intro before we scare everyone off. Hi, my little babies. Welcome back to another episode of What the Smut Book Reviews. Okay, hi. My name is Candace. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of What the Smut Book Reviews. I really appreciate it. Lord Jesus. Lord have mercy on my soul. Okay, so let's explain this first. First and foremost, because this is going to be so god dang distracting. Okay. It's food coloring. For those of you out there who don't know, I think most of you, if you're a repeat viewer here, you will know that I bake a lot. It's like my side hustle. I got an order for some decorated sugar cookies that required me to dye icing. And this is the end result, because I'm not a professional in any shape, way, or form at anything I attempt to do, obviously. And so I didn't wear gloves. Good job, Candace. And this is what happened. So this is just my hands now after washing them 17 times. They still look like that. So we're just gonna have to deal with it while I talk and just keep getting distracted by my fucking Smurf cum colored hands. Okay, cool. So, hi, in today's video, we're going to be reviewing book 2 is what we're here to review. Book 2 in LJ Shen's Sinners of Saints series. Hopefully I said that properly. If I didn't, I'm sorry. I just copy and paste from Amazon, and that's what Amazon said. So if I fuck that up, blame Amazon, don't blame Candace, okay? Thank you. The name of the book is Defy. I'll put the cover right there. I read this on my trusty Kindle Paperwhite. It is free to read with KU. All the books in this series are from Blue. It's gonna be so fucking distracting. Blue. All of these books are free to read with KU in this series. If you want to purchase this book for your Kindle, you can do so for the price of $2.99. If you want to buy the trade paperback for this, it's a nice even $10, which is nice. You can also get this book in audio. It is available in audiobook. Okay. This is Jamie's book. So we know that this series revolves around 4 high school age friends, right? At like a preppy, is that like a private school type situation, right? There's, what the hell is his name? Baron, aka Vicious, who was the main male protagonist for book 1. Jamie, who was only got a novella, and I'm not sure why. So book 1.5, I guess. And then, which would this be considered book 1.5, or would this be considered book 2? LJ? Assistance? Help a bitch out. I don't know. Because I've seen it referred to as both. And I don't know which one's accurate, so help. Then, if I'm not mistaken, Ruckus is Trent's book. And then Dean's book is after that. I don't remember the name of Dean's book, though. Dean's is the one that I'm most looking forward to, though. Because Dean has been one of the standout characters for me since book 1. And I'm not sure why. Maybe because he just seemed like the nicest of the bunch, which is usually not, that's usually not my bag. I'm usually most attracted to the mean one, the bully one, the bad boy, right? Which you would think would be vicious, right? But no. Dean was like the knight in shining armor. And that's usually not my, that's not my shtick. But he was like attractive to me. But then he also had his asshole moments too, though. So maybe that's, maybe it's because he flip-flops so much. I don't know. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Dean. What the fuck am I talking about? So, rein it in, Candace. Rein it in. Okay. I will read you guys the blurb, which I also printed out because I did remember to do that ahead of time. Blue! I did remember to do that ahead of time, even though I forgot to write down the prices of the book. 50%. It's better than 0%, right? So I'll read you guys the blurb, and then we'll try and break it down as best as my terrible brain will allow. And we'll talk about it because it was good, but it was, I have thoughts. We'll talk about it. So, okay. It says, Defy is a short novella. It is a prequel. It was a prequel. Keep that in mind too. To Vicious, which was book one, and can be read as a complete standalone, which I also appreciated. Because it was a prequel, you technically did not have to read Vicious before you could read this one. Okay. So it looks like the blurb is from the POV of the main female character. Her name is Melody. Okay. My name is Melody Green, and I have a confession to make. I slept with my student, a senior in high school, multiple times. I had multiple orgasms. Oh, yeah, you did, girl. In multiple positions. Oh, yeah, you did, girl. I slept with my student, and I enjoyed it. I slept with my student, and I'd do it all over again if I could turn back time. My name is Melody Green, and I got kicked out of my position as a teacher and did my walk of shame a la Cersei Lannister from the principal's office, minutes after said principal threatened to call the cops on me. My name is Melody Green, and I did something bad because it made me feel good. Here is why it was totally worth it. Girl, okay, first things first. That's one of the things that I wanted to point out about this book. This bitch, and I mean that in like the best possible way when I say bitch. Because if you guys know anything about me, you know that I call everybody a bitch. This bitch had no shame. No shame whatsoever. When it came to what she, pause, when it came to what she did, no shame. And I appreciated the fuck out of that. She didn't do any vacillating back and forth. Oh, this is morally wrong. I shouldn't do it. No. She was like, this boy a whole snack. I'm about to eat him. She didn't care. Sorry for the shakeage. She didn't give a shit. And I loved that. So, okay. So, the two main characters for this book are Jamie and Melody. Melody used to be a ballerina. She had an accident and injured herself when she was younger. I want to say like maybe like early 20s, something like that. I can't remember, late teens, early 20s. She injured herself, and her dreams of being a prima ballerina just washed down the tubes. She fell back on a career of teaching. Now she is a lit teacher at a prestigious prep school, right? The principal of said prep school hates her guts. The teacher who used to teach this class I can't remember if they retired and or died. I can't remember. But they left literally right before term started. And the principal had no choice, literally no choice, but to hire Melody to take this spot. She didn't want to do it, but she had to. So since that time, she's made Melody's life a living hell, calling her into the office every 8 seconds to bitch about what a shitty teacher she is, questioning her lesson plans, telling her how bad she's doing. Like this lady is a bitch, full-blown bitch. This lady, the principal, also happens to be Jamie's mom. Yeah. Okay. Jamie, the main male character, is one of the 4 what they call the hot holes of I forget the name of the school, but whatever prep. I forget. They're referred to as the 4 hot holes because it's literally a band of 4 friends who are super hot assholes, right? There's Vicious, Jamie, Trent, and Dean. They're all like athletes and super buff, super hot, super rude, right? Dean is like he's like the nicer of the bunch, boy next door type. Trent, it's hard to get a read on Trent. I haven't been able to, so far I have not been able to really get a good grasp on him. Jamie, in the first book, Jamie was Vicious and Jamie were like this, and then Trent and Dean were like this. So like they had like their pairing up of like they were close. These 2 were closer, and these 2 were closer than the other 2. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but they still didn't. There wasn't very much interaction, if you know what I mean. So the book opens with Melody getting called in to the principal's office and basically being threatened and told, hey, you're a fucking terrible teacher, and if I could, I would fire you. You know your shit. You know you're not getting renewed at the end of the year. You're gonna get let go because you suck. And she's like, oh, okay, all right, fuck you, bitch, but low key, gotta keep that in. So she's already feeling super harassed and super agitated. She goes to leave. It's like the end of the school day. She goes to leave. And as she's backing her car out, she gets a message from a guy that she's been talking to on a dating site that she had made plans with to like hook up with or to meet. Like a Tinder type thing. And he's like allegedly like a 26-year-old who still lives at home with his parents and whatever. And he had been canceling their plans, but now he's suddenly come up and he's like, yeah, I'm free. Can we still meet? She gets this text message as she's backing her car out. And she gets so distracted that she hits another car. She backs right into another car. It turns out to be Jamie's car. I forget, it's like a Jeep or a truck. She backs right into him. She gets out, she's freaking out. She's like, oh shit. I just hit the principal's son's car. Who comes around the corner but Jamie? And he's like, oh, Miss Green, what happened? I'm so sorry. I accidentally hit your car. And she's like, what? That's not right. What? And he's got like this look. He's like, yeah, I'll pay for all the damages. I'm really sorry. We don't need to call the cops or anything. We can work this out between the 2 of us. I literally can't get my eyes any further up. Like, Okay, so he's like, I'm gonna come by your apartment later and we'll work it out. And she's like, oh, what? Okay. And he does. He comes by her apartment and she literally, with no preamble whatsoever, with no qualms whatsoever, she gives him a blowjob and then they have sex. And I was like, sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? What? Okay, listen, I know this is a novella and there's only so much time. Like you've only got so many pages to get the story out. But I felt like I blinked and like his dick was in her mouth. I mean, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it at all. Because I'm not gonna lie, I may have liked this novella as much as the first book. Just, I don't know, something about Jamie, something about him. He was, oh God, I don't know. I don't know what it was, but there was something about that boy. So yeah. So he basically tells her, I've been watching you. I've been basically following you since you started working here, since you started teaching. I've basically been following you around. It started off very innocently. I saw you at this place, and then I happened to see you here, and then I made the mistake of following you home one day. And then I started following you to this place, and then I just basically started stalking you. And then I sat outside your window at night, and he tells her all of this. And then he's like, I've become legitimately infatuated with you. And I want to sleep with you. And he tells her, I can't remember if she puts the parameters on it or if he does, but they agree to sleep together until the end of the school term, which is only like a couple of weeks away. He's already 18, so he's legal, but he is still in school. So she knows there's like a moral conundrum, but there's not a legal conundrum, right? I want to make that clear. So for you little bitches out there who are going to be like, okay, shut up. He's legal, okay? However, technically it's taboo because she's still his teacher, right? So there's still few weeks of school left. And the hot holes are very pissed off because Trent has had his knee injured by another teammate during a game. I want to say it's like either football or rugby. I can't remember which one they play. And it appears to have been done on purpose. They do a little bit of investigating. It was done by the son of the coach. And now Trent is going to have to go through like rehab and all this other stuff. And his shot at like a scholarship is kaput. So he fucked. So now they're plotting their revenge against not only the boy, but the coach, the teacher, the coach, who has like, he got money. He owns like a restaurant that's on like a ship. It's like a boat, like one of those, there's no other way to describe that. It's like a restaurant ship. Does that make sense? Do you know what I'm talking? You know what I'm saying. Very ritzy, very upscale, right? His family owns that. So they start plotting. First they go and they want to kick the kid's ass. Melody is out one day with her parents, and she sees them with like, overhears them plotting to kick this kid's ass. And she's basically pressured by her parents into intervening, even though Jamie is there and they're already screwing each other. And she knows that not only is it going to put her in a bad position with him, but Vicious, who has no filter whatsoever and is a straight up asshole, Vicious knows that they're together. Even though he's best friends with Jamie, he's a wild card. And there's no telling whether or not he'll say some shit, right? So she's pressured by her parents to go up and intervene. And so she does. And she goes up and she's like, hey, you guys, the teacher, typical teacher, you guys cut that out right now. Don't you do that. Right? And they're just like, Vicious is like, okay, go fuck yourself in the green. Right? Everybody else is like, okay, all right, Ms. Green, all right. And it kind of breaks it up for the moment. So later on, you know, like, her and Jamie hash it out. But Jamie tells her flat out, if we decide to go after this kid and the coach, we're going to do what we want to do. And you're going to stay out of it. Because they got it coming. They fucked Trent up bad. And they deserve what they're going to get. And she's like, okay. He won't tell her anything. Because he wants to keep her out of it. But he's going to do whatever the fuck he wants to do. Because he's a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. He's a man. So they continue to see each other. He essentially basically moves into her apartment over the course of, like, for the next few weeks. He, like, all of his stuff is there. And he starts spending the night. Basically every night. And they legit almost practically live together. Him and his mom don't get along. His mother, the principal, is like she comes from a very affluent family. Everything is about appearances. Everything is about, like, you know what I'm saying? Everything is about money. It's old money. It's the family name. It's how is this going to look to society? How is this going to, right? Those people. Okay. So they fight constantly. And he's been sticking up for her, Melody, to his mother the entire year. Like, fights at the dinner table. He tells Melody at one point, she comes home daily bitching about you. At the dinner table, everything talking about what a terrible teacher you are. She's a bitch. And I'm constantly defending you. And maybe to the point that it looks weird, but that's Jamie. So safe to say, he tells his mother that he's staying with Vicious, but really he's staying with Melody. So he basically moves in with her. They're basically living together. And they continue that way up until about the last week of school. They get up to the last week of school, and one night they're in bed together. It's around midnight, and he just gets a random text message, and he gets out of bed and he gets dressed and he just tells her, I'm going out. What? What do you mean you're going out? I'm gonna go hang out with my friends. Boy, what the fuck is this? So she's like, you're not gonna tell me anything? And he's just like, no, I'm not. So she knows something is up. He's being very short with her. He's being very blunt with her. He's being downright rude to her. And that's not Jamie. So she knows something's going down. So she waits until he gets in his car. And then she jumps up and she gets in her car and she follows him. She follows him to the marina. It's like the marina, the marina. There's no other word for it. The marina. So she goes into like a gas station or like a mini mart type place that has like windows where she can see outside. So she can spy on him basically. And she sees him meet up with the other 3 hotholes who are there with the coach's son, who's basically like tied up and gagged and looks like he's been beat to shit, or is halfway beat to shit, and they're getting ready to finish beating him to shit. In addition to that, there's like, they have like a gas can and they're clearly up to some shit. So she's watching them through the glass windows of the little gas station. And she sees all this stuff going down, but she can't stop any of it. Well, she probably could, but she doesn't, because she knows that the coach really does deserve what he's gonna get. So she stands there and she watches them basically set this guy's restaurant boat on fire and burn it to the ground. As she gets worried for Jamie, and at one point she runs out of the gas station down to the marina, and she realizes that they've made it away from the boat. But as she's running away, she hears something fall, but she doesn't know what it is. She doesn't know, like, if it's her cell phone. She takes like a mental inventory. She has all of her stuff. She has her cell phone. She has whatever. So she doesn't know what it is. She just books it. So she gets back to the house, her apartment, and she texts Jamie very innocuously, "Are you having fun with your friends?" And he's like, "Yeah, a lot of fun, super duper fun," something like that. And she's just like, oh, God, fucking asshole, right? So the next day, she goes into school. She gets called into the principal's office. Per usual, okay, whatever. So she goes in. Principal's like, "Sit down." Okay, whatever, bitch. It's literally like there's 3 days of school left. She doesn't care at this point. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. She sits down, and the principal's like, "Give me one reason why I shouldn't call the cops on you right now." And immediately she goes, "Oh, fuck." She knows that I'm screwing her son. And she tries to play it cool. She's like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, the principal's like, "Let me give you a hint. It involves a boat and a fire and blah, blah." And she starts naming off the stuff. And Melody's like, "What?" So the principal pulls out a necklace with an anchor on it. And it turns out to be her necklace that she has through the entire book. And I forgot to mention, by the way. P.S. Because I forget everything. She has an anchor charm necklace that she has throughout the entire novel that she plays with. She dropped it on the pier or on the boardwalk of the marina as she was running away from the fire before the boat basically exploded. the kid found it, the coach's son. And to avert blame from Vicious and the other hot holes, he blamed Miss Green for starting the fire, not knowing that Miss Green is screwing one of the hot holes. So now he's given the principal, who hates Miss Green, the perfect ammunition against Miss Green, right? And now she's screwed. So she says, I have your necklace. And this boy says he saw you starting the fire that burned down his dad's boat. Give me one reason why I shouldn't call the police. And she's like, that's bullshit. I didn't fucking do it. You can't prove shit by having a necklace that I could have dropped there at any time. You literally have no evidence. You have circumstantial at best. Okay. So then the next thing she says is, P.S. I know you're screwing my son. Okay, so she does know. And she has known this whole time. Why you let me get away with that, I don't know. I don't know why you did that. Okay. So she basically says, okay, well, you're fired, obviously. You're going to stay away from my son. You're never going to see him again. You're going to break things off with him. He's going to go to college in Texas. You're never going to speak to him ever again. And in exchange, I'm not going to turn you into the police. And this will never be a thing. And we'll pretend this never happened. But you'll never talk to him again. And she's like, no. Do whatever you're gonna do. Go fuck yourself. So she leaves. She bounces. And then she sees Jamie. And Jamie is like, I'm gonna go talk to her. I'm gonna go talk to my mom. Fuck this shit, I'm gonna go talk to my mom. So he goes in and he talks to his mom. And then he texts her and tells her to come back into the office with them. She does. And when she walks in, she fully expects that Jamie will tell his mom that they want to be together. Because by this time, she knows that she loves him. And she's pretty sure he loves her too. And she wants to be with him. She's not sure how they're going to work it out yet, but she knows that she wants to be with him. And so she's like, she walks in expecting that Jamie's going to tell his mom, go fuck yourself. We want to be together. You have nothing on her. Do whatever you're going to do. But that's not what happens. He essentially won't make eye contact with her. And instead, he acquiesced to all of his mother's demands and basically says, yes, I will go to college in Texas. Yes, I will never speak to Melody again. Yes, Mom, yes, Mom, yes, Mom. And she's standing there, Melody is standing there like, you won't even look at me. And she's heartbroken because she's like, I can't believe I let this kid hurt me like this. How could I be so stupid? And so without giving him a chance to explain, she just turns around and walks out. So after that, She's fuming. She's fucking fuming. She goes back home, fuming. She simmers down later, and she starts to think about it. And she's like, why would he do that? It doesn't make any sense. Like, that's not who he is. Something else had to have been going on. I should have at least given him a chance to tell me to my face why. What was happening. So she goes looking for him. She can't find him. He's not picking up his phone. He's not answering his text. Right? He's nowhere to be found. She runs into Vicious. Where is Jamie? Vicious is like, why the fuck should I tell you? You broke his heart. And she's like, I just need to talk to him. And he's like, no, I don't think you should talk to him. And Vicious doesn't appear to have a nice bone in his body. He's a straight up dick. But in this one instance, you see like a little glimmer of redemption, like something redeemable in him. And he says, he's at my house. And she follows him. He lets her follow him in her car to his house, where she finds Jamie. And Jamie basically, after a few little jabs at her, like passive aggressive, you didn't let me explain, right? He basically tells her that he is going to go to Texas to college, but she's coming with him. That he knows she doesn't want to be a teacher. The reason she's not good at being a teacher is because she never wanted to be a lit teacher. She wanted to be a ballerina. And just because her injury prevented her from starring in a ballet doesn't mean she can't teach ballet. He's already set her up with an interview at a ballet company to teach ballet, because he knows she still practices every day and she still dances for herself. And he's already set her up with an interview in Texas, and he wants her to move with him to Texas and be with him. And I was just like, boy, oh boy, oh boy, you got me, boy. You got me, boy. Blue, you got me, boy. So, there is a little epilogue that's, I can't remember, it's like a year in the future. And where he gives her like a little promise ring, and it's super cute. It's very cute. And something to do with like a trust fund that his grandfather had set up for him. And when he turns, I think, like 21. And at that point, he'll have his own money. He's working, I think, at like Starbucks or something. He's working a job, a legit job, to pay bills like a real person. Not like a trust fund baby. He's working a real job. And they're living a legit life together in Texas, in like a crappy little apartment, just living their best life in love together. And it was super cute. And when he turns 21, he's gonna buy her, he tells her he's gonna buy her a beautiful giant ass engagement ring. And he'll have his trust fund, he'll have his money that his mother cannot touch, because he's been disinherited since he moved in with Melody. And yeah, which we know by the time Vicious's book happens, which I believe, I want to say is 5 years later. By that time, they have a child and a second one on the way. So, there's a second one on the way. I think she's pregnant in that one at the end, I think. And they live in London together. So, yeah. So they do make it, and it's so cute. And I love that. I love seeing like the progression of the couples throughout a series. And you get to see like in Danielle Laurie's Maid series, how in Ronan's book you got to see Christian and Gianna with Kat at like an older age. I love that. I fucking love that. That's so cute. So yeah. So for the rating for the book, because it's a novella, and I don't really do novellas too often because I feel like they're too rushed. I feel like I can't, as a whole, I can't enjoy novellas the way that I should, because I need at least 300 pages to be able to fully invest in a book, if that makes sense. To be able to attach myself to a couple 100% and become invested in their well-being. I need 300 pages. And with this being a novella, and with me still being, I don't want to say I'm iffy on LJ Shen's writing style, because her writing style is fine. I do like her writing style. It's not off-putting in any way. And she writes alpha holes. Like that's her thing. They're called the hot holes. I mean, you can't explain, you can't put it any other way. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just not deep enough. This always happens to me. At the beginning of a new series, no matter who the author is, I don't get fully invested in a series until I'm past book 1. And I don't know why that is. Usually book 1 is meant to hook you. The book 1 should be the strongest book, shouldn't it? Like you would think. But for me, it's usually almost always turns out to be the weakest book. And I don't know why that is. So maybe I'm weird. Maybe I'm just weird. Anyway, for the rating for the book, I gave it a solid 8.5. Like I said earlier, I may have liked this one as much. Even though it was a novella, I may have liked it as much as I did Vicious's book. Because there was just something about Jamie. Melody, I liked her. She was cool and everything, but there was just something about Jamie's personality. I just liked him. He's just so sweet. He's so cute. Anyway, so a solid 8.5. So if you like high school age romance, if you like taboo student teacher romance, especially if you like the reversed role of female teacher, male student romance, which I don't run across very often, you would like this. So yeah, give it a shot. And I think that's it. I think I'm done. That's pretty much it. I think I'm done. Did I miss anything? I'm pretty sure I got a bunch of stuff wrong, but I did my best, and that's all I can do. So yeah, there you go. I thank you guys so much for sticking with me for another video. I know the beginning was an absolute shit show. The middle was probably also a shit show, maybe less of a shit show, but still a shit show. And yeah, if you like me and you like my channel, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. If you would like, you can follow me on social media. I do have a members only Facebook group, an Instagram, and a Twitter devoted to this channel. I will link them all in the description box below, and I'll put a little banner here on the screen for you guys to see. And yeah, I think that's it. I love you guys so much. I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Okay? Love you so much. Bye. Okay. Hi. What is happening? I'll tell you what's happening. The wrong shade foundation is what's happening. I look like a fucking pumpkin. We're not going to talk about it. I mean, we're talking about it right now, but this is going to get moved to the bloopers, so we're not talking about it. It's making me so angry. Okay, so we're doing a novella today. Because Candace ain't got no fucking time. All right, cool. So let's get into it. Here we go. I don't remember anything about this fucking book. It's been so long since I read this book. I don't remember anything about the book. Typical Candace. And my kid just decides that, like, the second I sit down to record, she just wants to run through the hallway, back and forth. Also, don't pay attention to this. We're going to talk about this too. Okay. Let's go. Let's just go. Fuck my life. All right, here we go. In L.J. Shen's Sinner, what the fuck is it called? Sinners of Saint? Is that what it's called? Yes? Sinner of Saint? Sinner of something? I don't know. Sinners of Saint series? I'm shedding as well. That's lovely. And there's fluff flying all around this room. If I had my shit together, I'd be fucking dangerous. Like, if I had my shit together, I'd literally be like a mad scientist or like world domination level crazy. Like, I'd be dangerous if I could actually get my shit together. Okay, so, I didn't write down the prices of the book. God damn it. Fuck. Okay. I'll be right back. All this is going in the bloopers because, Candace, you are a fucking dumpster fire. Oh, Candace, you are batting 1,000. I'm back. Okay. It's been 2 hours since I left. I ate dinner. I went out and I got dinner. I came back and I ate dinner. And now I'm recording again. My angle is probably off from what it was before. My hands are still blue. Also, side note, I know my foundation is too dark. I don't want to talk about it. I bought the wrong color. I don't want to talk about it. Let's not talk about it. Okay, cool. I also need a haircut. We're not going to talk about that either. So, where did we leave off, kids? We're here to review. I know I've said it like 3 times. So, if you enjoyed this video, if you like me and you like my channel, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. If you... I cannot believe she just flushed the toilet in the middle of my outro. Don't have kids. Don't have kids. Okay, so. Oh my God. Oh my God. Do you think people will know that I recorded the review for book 1.5 before I recorded the review for book 1? Well, because it's a novella, and it was shorter to do than the review for book 1, which you would think it would be shorter, but it really wasn't, because I still managed to turn it into an hour-long review. Typical Candace. Typical Candace. Okay, I'm done for the night. There's gonna be plenty of bloopers because Candace, you're absolute trash. Parched. I'm parched. My lips are dry. Ghost face. For you guys who are not aware, the Scream franchise is my favorite Halloween franchise. It's my favorite scary movie franchise. Did you know that? Did you know that? Well, modern day franchise. Does that make sense? Yes. Nightmare on Elm Street is my favorite classic franchise. Okay. Anyway, you don't care. We're talking about irrelevant stuff right now, not book related stuff, so you don't care. Blue. I love you guys so much. I'll see you later. I'm gonna go put my kid to bed.